about to head into the new year, and God willing, it'll be a better one than this one's been. So I wanted to chat a bit about New Year's resolutions. I'm the type of person who says that New Year's resolutions are kind of bogus, because if you want to change something, you don't need to wait for a specific point in time to do so. You should just make that change right now. But then I always make resolutions anyway? I don't know why I'm like this. Let me know down in the comments if you make resolutions each year. Even though New Year's is, as Neil deGrasse Tyson is absolutely going to tweet for like the 5th year in a row, a cosmically arbitrary event carrying no astronomical significance at all, symbolically, it's a powerful motivator. It's good to evaluate your goals from time to time, and tying it to a turn of the calendar is a great signal to your brain to remind yourself to do so. Like spring cleaning, which I'm still not sure why is actually done in the spring, other than it sounds nice sentimentally. So, when you're thinking about making a New Year's resolution for your art, or in general, I'm going to talk about art because it's my channel, but this could be for other aspects of your life too, there are some things that you can consider so you don't end up making a resolution that you give up on after a month. If you find any of these tips helpful, give this video a like for me so that I know to make more of this kind of thing in the future, and make sure you're subscribed and notified so you don't miss out on future videos. When you start thinking about what kind of resolution that you want to make, reflect back on the past year and think about what you struggled with. This is where you identify things that came up again and again in your life and really examine what you can do to fix them. That way you're not making some arbitrary resolution just for making a resolution's sake. Whatever you resolve to do will add a real improvement to your life or your drawing practice. If you make your New Year's resolution, learn oil painting, but you've never had the drive to learn oils in the first place, you kind of just think they look cool because you see other artists doing it, you're more likely to drop that after a while because it never strongly resonated with you to begin with. If you want to learn something new, it should be something that you've been thinking about long enough to know that it's a purposeful decision. Think about your overall goals for the future. For instance, I want to improve my business so that the income I get from selling my artwork is more consistent. Make a resolution that moves you closer towards the goal that you've already been working towards. In my case, resolving to make a number of new products and organize my store launches with better regularity will help with the goal of improving my art sales. That may sound like you're just taking a goal that you already have and then going, well, guess that's my resolution now. But what you're really doing is taking the time to examine your pre-existing goals and making resolutions to strengthen those goals. You won't be adding an entirely separate goal on top of that, which could distract or overwhelm you. If you want to add a separate goal other than making your pre-existing goals better, tie it into one of the 2 points I mentioned before. With my example of improving my business, I want to learn some graphic design skills so that I can make a wider variety of products, more appealing products, and more interesting packaging and website design. That ties into both struggles that I've had in the past and my overall goal of improving my business in the future. Come up with an action plan. Making a resolution isn't going to get you far if you don't know how you're going to complete it. Do that legwork now so that the implementation comes easier later. Going back to my goal of graphic design, I know that I can take some design classes on a site like Skillshare or watch some tutorials here on YouTube. And since I already own software like Affinity Designer, I know which tools I'm going to be using. But you'll also want to figure out a time in your schedule that you can set aside to read or learn or work or whatever you resolve to do, because if you don't know when you'll be doing something, you're likely to push it off until later or forget about it outright. One of the most important parts of making an action plan is deciding when to take action, so do that now rather than later. Hold yourself accountable, or even better, find someone else who will. This can be as easy as telling a friend, hey, I'm trying to work on this thing. Can you check up on me sometimes and ask how it's going? I could use an accountability buddy. Or you could make a bet out of it. For instance, if you fall off the wagon, your friend takes your gaming console away so you won't be distracted. Or tie a monetary value to it if you think that'll really motivate you. You can also hold yourself accountable by using a habit tracker, like the one I provide in my creative productivity workbook, A Motion to Make. By the way, you can read the first chapter of this book for free in the link below. Remember that this doesn't have to be all or nothing. If you fall off the wagon, or if your goals start to shift, you can tweak your resolution to better suit your needs. This may go against the idea of a New Year's resolution, but I believe it should be a living goal. That is to say, it should grow and change as you do. As an example, this past year, I was planning on selling my art at conventions for the first time. Clearly that didn't happen. I also thought I wanted to get my art into some group zines. As time went on, I realized that doesn't really align with my vision for where I wanted my work to go, and I began applying to galleries instead. The intention was the same, to put myself out there in other spaces than social media, but the method I chose needed to shift. If you find that you're really struggling to stay consistent with your New Year's resolution, take some time and examine if it's still suiting the needs that you thought you had before, or if your needs have changed and your goal needs to change along with it. Let me know, what are your art New Year's resolutions this year? YouTube thinks you're gonna like this video right here, so you should totally keep watching that one. I'll see you over there. Till then, take care.